Hey, boys and girls. Welcome. Did you hear? I mean, you must have heard by now that Ironmouse has decided to leave VShojo. Gee, for what reasons other than, well, I'm sure the reasons she's going to go over in her video, because I know about her leaving, and I know some basic details, but I've yet to watch her actual explanation. So let's see what Ironmouse has to say about her leaving.
I am leaving VShojo. Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by VShojo. With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is...
Okay, so wait a minute. If she's owed money that she has not been paid, and she is, well, whether she likes it or not, she was the face of VShojo, okay? If she was the face of it, and they haven't paid her money, I'm curious as to who else hasn't been paid money. And I do believe that Kason actually did come out either last night or this morning and say flat out that she had not been paid money since I believe, don't quote me on this because I'm not 100%, but I believe since September of last year, she said that she hadn't been paid money. So I'm curious if Mouse hadn't been paid for who knows how long, and they owe her, as she just said, a significant amount of money. Kason hadn't been paid. I'm curious if when Giga left, maybe she hadn't been paid a good amount of money either. Or what about Matarcon? You know, she was let go, I guess, is the best way to put it. But maybe she was seen as troublesome because she started asking questions like, "Where's my money, bitch?" Now, that is only speculation. I am not saying that's what happened. I'm not saying that, I have the ins and outs and I know that that's what's going on. I'm just saying that's where my conspiracy brain goes to. I obviously, I would rather be one big misunderstanding, but I'm going to be honest. I watch Mouse very seldomly. I do enjoy her streams, but I never watched because she was part of VShojo. I watched because of her. I like Matara Khan because she's more my actual age group, more than likely, and Giga because she's also closer to my actual age group. And well, I like watching adults, okay? Even though they're cartoons, leave me alone. So, all right, speculation, but let's see what else Mouse has to say here.
is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from VShojo. I know that this is a lot, and
Rin, yeah, you're right. That might explain. That definitely could explain some graduations. Yes.
It's very important for me to be honest with all of you. I really want to tell you everything, but unfortunately right now, I have been instructed by my attorney to wait for more of the legal procedure to unfold. So one day, I will be able to tell you the full story. But for now, I just need to let you know that I will no longer be a part of VShojo. If you give me a moment of your time, I just want to tell you a little.
See, and yeah, like I said before, she was their largest milk cow, I guess, is the best way for me to explain it. And I think they probably took a little bit too much milk. I hope people understand what I'm saying there anyway.
Bit about myself. I know for a lot of people right now that this might be the first time you're ever watching me. I became a VTuber because I really wanted to make friends. I was very lonely due to the fact that I have a primary immune deficiency disease called CVID. I basically have a low to near non-functioning immune system.
The CVID is a relatively frequent form of primary immune deficiency found in about 1 in 25,000 persons. That's like barely a needle in a haystack. That's fucked up. This is the reason it's called common. Well, that doesn't seem very common to me. Why would they call it common if it looks that rare? But okay. The degree and type of deficiency of serum. Oh, that's a big word. Can I say the big word? Immunoglobulins? Fucking hell. And the clinical course varies from person to person, hence the word variable. Wow, see that? Yeah, okay.
Which means I get sick a lot, and it caused
Yeah, I could just explain it like her, huh? Get sick a lot.
me to remain isolated for long periods of my life. So then I found streaming, and I thought about giving it a try because I wanted to see if I could make some friends online, because I honestly couldn't ever leave my room. I never really expected to grow an audience or anything.
Notice, I think Mouse made a lot of friends online.
It was one of the last things on my mind. I just thought that I would stream to, 5 to 10 people and just hang out from time to time, make some friends, play games, and just continue on with my life. But unfortunately, I was too scared to stream with my face. So a friend of mine recommended that I try an app called FaceRig that would allow me to use an anime avatar to stream. And that's how I started VTubing. It took me a while to take it seriously and even begin to think about maybe being able to grow a community and even make this a career. I think I really started to take it seriously around the time when I was approached to join VShojo, and it was through VShojo that I was able to grow into the Ironmouse that I am today. When I was approached in 2020 and asked to join VShojo, it seemed like a good idea, but I honestly did not know if I could ever be a corporal VTuber because I felt like I just couldn't. In my mind, I saw myself as unhireable, which is why streaming worked for me. I had no boss, no strict rules, I had no hours, no expectations. It was all up to me, and due to the fact that I have lived my life chronically ill and being unable to do much of anything, I just felt like there was no way that anyone would ever take me or want me. For a while, I was struggling to make a decision because...
Okay, could you... I know there are some people who might see this and go, well, I don't see why you devalue yourself so low because you're so great and stuff like that. And I mean, Ironmouse is pretty fucking cool. But try and put yourself in that position if you've never been in that position, where you literally felt like you brought no value to the world at all. Could you imagine if Mouse was like, you know what, I bring no value to the world, I'm not even going to try? Because her community is large enough that I'm pretty sure she's brought somebody or multiple somebodies out of a depression or something along those lines, right? So she had just given up and said, no, I'm not going to do it. There would be at least a few people whose days were not brighter because of her.
Because I was afraid about my anonymity and afraid about trusting people, because I felt like every time I put my trust in people, it always ends in grief for me. So I was worried about expectations and a million and one
Yeah, it is hard to trust people sometimes.
other things, but I ultimately decided to join VShojo. It really pains me that
Let's see. Who was that on Twitch? First time chat. Thank you very much. Is it Plancio? The pain in her voice is heartbreaking. It is. It is very heartbreaking. It, I gotta admit, it has me on the edge.
I am unable to fully explain why I am leaving. But for right now, here's what I am allowed to share with you. I would always be told how important I was for the company, and I was always told that I was needed in order.
So basically, I think what she's saying here is she was manipulated. I've seen companies do this just to regular employees in order to get them to work just a little more for a little less, you know, where the company will tell you, oh, you're needed here, you're so great, we're not going to pay you, but you're wonderful, and it would sure be a bummer if you left, you know, all of that crap. And then on top of it, you know, inevitably somebody does the whole, we're a big happy family. If your employer ever looks at you and tells you, unless you're actually related to them, ever tells you we're a big happy family and it's not like a joke, run, because they will take advantage of you. And it very much already sounds like that's where she's going with this, but I could be speculating, but let's find out.
In order for the company to succeed. Although that was very positive to hear.
Yeah, you have to be here for us to succeed. And that might sound very positive, but that is manipulation 101.
It put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me to the point where I felt guilt-tripped into signing. I felt responsible for everybody. I felt responsible for staff and talent alike. And I felt like if I didn't do this and if I didn't stay, I was hurting everybody and I was destroying everybody's life. But this didn't.
Okay, so I'm not really familiar with how the companies work. Okay, I know VShojo works differently. I thought VShojo was mainly just a kind of, hey, here's the talent, we're going to market you and stuff like that, or we're going to market your baubles and your stuffies and your plushies and all that, and you're still just going to do what you want to do. But, you know, obviously, I don't really know. I just kind of go in the background here. I'm not usually up to date on that kind of stuff. And let's see, true, corporations and employees' interest does not always align. This is true once again.
Didn't feel right with me, and I began to feel extremely uncomfortable. As my viewers know, privacy has always been one of my biggest concerns. I've had a lot of scary experiences in my life, so one amazing thing for me was the fact that VShojo handled all my payments, and it meant that I never had to give out any of my personal information, so that was always a blessing.
I mean, I get the wanting to stay anonymous and all that, you know, because obviously, if you're using an avatar to speak on the interweb, for the most part, aside from a few specific, what's the word I'm looking for, occasions or people or whatever that don't care. I mean, but I don't see why you would put all your eggs in the same basket as far as your money goes. But then again, I do believe this is the first time that Mouse had a quote-unquote job. I think she's mentioned that in the past, so I'm not going to judge her on that, and I understand it, but you would hope that there would be somebody else going over that stuff with her, rather than just letting a company who obviously took advantage of her to, well, take advantage.
To me. As time went on, I decided that I wanted to try to start pulling out my remaining funds because I wanted to start taking over my own finances. This is what led me to this point.
You wanted to be grown up. That's fucking cool.
Throughout the years, Connor and I have raised around $4 million for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The majority of the money raised is through Tiltify at events like the Cyclothon, the charity auction, and other miscellaneous events that we've had. However, because of the success of my first subathon, I decided to donate half the earnings of my following 2 subathons to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The first time I tried this, it worked great. Over 200,000 people supported me, and because of that, we raised over $329,350 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Because the money came from my Twitch revenue instead of a Tiltify link, it required VShojo to make the donation on my behalf. They promptly sent the payment, and the subathon was a huge success, so I decided to do it again the next year. My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers and breaking the all-time sub record. But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I once again asked VShojo to make the donation on my behalf, but unfortunately, still a year later, VShojo has not paid the charity.
So yeah, could you imagine, right? You did all of that work. And that subathon for her was, what, 30 days or something like that, right? If I remember correctly. It was a long-ass time. You do all that work. You trust a company to have your best interest at heart in mind. And for this particular occasion, that best interest was donating, what was it, $515,000, just a tad over $500,000, to a charity, to the IDF, to a charity that Mouse cares deeply about. That's not just that company stabbing her in the back. That is that company stabbing her in the back, twisting a knife, and telling her she should enjoy it. That is fucked. Not right in any way, shape, or form. That is words that I probably shouldn't say on the internet because it could get me in trouble with the YouTube and the Twitch. Probably not so much on Kick. I don't think Kick gives a shit what I say, to be honest with you. And yes, but that I have such trouble pronouncing people's screen names. I am old as fuck, and I'm gonna say Plancio. It's bad enough to cheat your talents out of their money, but charities is a new low. This is true. It is not a new low. It is the lowest of the low. It is so low. What's the word? It's so low that Hassan Piker might lick it off the floor. Okay?
Immune Deficiency Foundation means the world to me. Connor and I have both spent a ton of energy, time, and resources raising money for charity. And we're both so proud to be able to say that we've raised nearly $4 million for charity. We almost always raise money for the Immune Deficiency
Nearly $4 million, that's a lot of money.
Foundation. They help people with primary immune deficiency diseases, or PI, which are inherited disorders where a part of the body's immune system is missing or doesn't function properly, which makes people like me more prone to infection, and this includes over 450 different conditions. The Immune Deficiency Foundation is a charity that is near and dear to my heart and has a particular significance in my life. When my health first started getting really bad, the Immune Deficiency Foundation helped me immensely when I really had nowhere else to turn. I was terrified, I was lonely, and I was confused. I honestly didn't really know what was going on, and I never ever want anyone else to go through that. This entire situation has broken me. I just wanted to do something.
Alright, I have to pause here right for a second, because I'm on that, on that edge, listening to her. Because, you know, even though, obviously, I don't know Mouse, I've never talked to Mouse, I've never interacted with her in any way, shape, or form. I think I left a comment on a video once, and I might have commented in a chat at one time, but I've never interacted with her personally, you know. Hearing all of this just it rubs a particular no-go zone for me. Okay? I'm old school man, okay? I'm the guy that doesn't believe in toxic masculinity. Yeah. I think if you believe in toxic masculinity, you've never actually been around a fucking man before in your life. You may have been around some man-children, but never around an actual man. And as a man, when I hear about a young woman being taken advantage of in this way, then it really pisses me off. Yeah. Oh, look, our first time chat from a streamboo.com thing. Good for that, right? And then of course we have first time chat from Angela GMX. Hi, how are you? Hello, my headphones aren't working right now. Can you stack? Blah blah blah. No, because I know full well your headphones work. And no, we are not doing self-promotion on my streams. Thank you very much. Moving on to the rest of what Mouse has to say.
Good. And to give back to a community that helped me. But unfortunately, that's not the case. As much as I would like to continue to talk about this, unfortunately, I can't. So, to recap, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the Immune Deficiency Foundation is owed over $500,000 from VShojo. I really wish that I could tell you more, but right now, I have been advised to wait for legal proceedings. As of right now, I am an independent VTuber. I am at a loss of what to do right now. I'm kind of processing everything. I'm very sad.
Yeah, so if they had just paid her, if they had just paid the charity, they had just paid the idea of charity, I don't think it'd be such a big deal, right? I think that they as in VShojo would be able to just keep their little cash mouse, and would have been okay. But them not doing that seems like it pushed Mouse over the edge. She's now independent, as she says, and that's pretty good to me. I don't think people are gonna. Well, no, never mind. I shouldn't say I don't think people are gonna. I'm sure there might be a few that do the whole, well, you're not with VShojo anymore, so I don't like you. Because there are people who would rather follow the company than the talent. Let's see. Placio, they would have made so much money in the long run if they kept their end of the deal. Yes. As I just said. If they would have just done what they said they were going to do, they would have just kept being able to milk the mouse, so to speak. And I'm sure that she probably would have remained completely happy too, if they had paid her and paid the charity. And I am still curious though, because like I said, Kason did come out. I was either yesterday evening or this morning. I saw it this morning. And said that she hadn't been paid since September, if I'm remembering correctly. So, how long has it been since they paid Mouse? And how are they, if they're not paying their talent, what about the people who don't have brand deals with things and are just streaming? What are they getting out of the deal? I mean, I don't know. It seems very... I've never liked the corporal stuff anyway, and I'm hoping that they all do better on their own.
And very confused. Once again, I want to apologize to the Immune Deficiency Foundation and to my community who has shown so much support to me. I also wanted to say that all the ad money made from this video will go towards the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I really haven't had much time to process this. But below the video in the description box is a link to a donation fund for the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
There is?
Thankfully, any donations made through Tiltify go directly to the charity.
Oh, okay, cool. We can do
that link is also there if you've heard about this and would like to support the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Sometime this month, I plan on doing a special live stream in order to raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I hope to have a ton of friends joining me, and hopefully there'll be a lot of singing and a lot of fun and just a day full of happiness. I just honestly really want to show that after all of this, that VTubing is a force for good. So, thank you guys so much.
Alright, yeah, like I said before, I think if they would have just, kept to their word and paid the people, they wouldn't be going through all this rigmarole. And they, of course, I do mean VShojo. Because who else is going to leave now? Who else do they have that really brings in an audience? Mouse is gone now. Giga left a couple weeks ago. Maturakan was subsequently pushed out the door. Who else is left that's really going to bring an actual decent-sized audience in? Because, yeah, sure, you can show me the splash page, the page that says they're hiring right now. I'm not shitting. There's a, or is it? I lost it. But there was a picture that says they're literally hiring right now. But of course, they I can't find it now. Of course, I can't find it now because I didn't save it like I should have. I should have saved that shit. There's a thing saying that, hey, they're hiring in July. Well, I guess they kind of have to be now because they're losing all their talent. Yes, thank you. I forgot. Zen did leave a while ago, too, yes. So, yeah, that just kind of pushes my point across more, doesn't it? Plenty of that pushes my point across more that they have nobody. They have nobody. So anyway, we're going to end this video here. I have a question for you, though. How did you discover Mouse? Was it through a clip? Was it through somebody saying, hey, she's pretty cool? did you see the character design and decided to watch it for some reason, just on a random Sunday? For me, it's very simple. Somebody said she had a gorgeous and beautiful voice. I listened to her absolutely operatic voice, and then I was like, you know what? I'm hooked. I gotta watch this little one. I do. But anyway, do me a giant favor, hitting those like and subscribe buttons. Follow on all the socials, and the Twitches, and the Twatters, and the Kicks, and the YouTubes, and all that. We're at 550 subscribers on YouTube. We are on the way to 1,000. And we are currently sitting at, what is that, 27 followers on Twitch. Looking for the 30. We're almost there. And I will see you guys later on. Bye-bye.